So basically, what this build is, or was originally intended to be, and I guess still is the Jupiter 2 from Lost in Space, which is it's a sci-fi series from 1959 about people being lost in space. Now, you don't know this, I don't think, unless
Nope.
you do. If you do,
I've heard
I'd
of
be
it, but I've
impressed.
not watched it before.
It's a very, very corny, very weird, very stupid show that is very near and dear to my heart. I grew up with it because my aunt grew up with it. She loved it. She introduced it to me. It is like it's stupid. It is a stupid show, but I love it dearly. I love it dearly. And they did a remake of it in 2018. They did a reboot, and the reason why I built the Jupiter 2, which is the central spacecraft that they use to wander around while lost in space. It's also where they live. The reason why I decided to build the Jupiter 2 was because season 3 of the 2018 reboot came out a couple days ago, actually. It came out on the 1st. So I was kind of like inspired to do that. But the thing is, I didn't want to make the Jupiter 2 from the reboot because I love how the ship looks in the reboot. When you see it, you'll understand why I didn't want to make that in Minecraft, because I am going to be sending pictures.
Okay, and I will put them on screen when needed, when you ask me to.
So I decided I wanted to make the J2 from the original series because, hey, it's cool. It's the iconic one. That was a mistake. Let me just say that, because this thing, it's a saucer.
So
it's just a flying saucer.
It's a circle.
Yeah, Minecraft circle generators were my best friend. It's a circle that has a specific taper on it, and I managed to do that. And I built this very small version of it, and it had like the flashing light at the top, and like there's rotating lights at the bottom. And I was like, okay, this is cool. This is going to be my thing. It's just hovering on the build world. Loved it. I wanted more, because I came back the next day and I was like, all right, this is cool. It needs to be bigger, and it needs to have the interior, because, I wanted to challenge myself, which I immediately learned was probably not a good idea, because guess what? The original set can't fit in there. It's like borderline impossible to fit the original set of the show inside that flying saucer. Like, you see through those windows, you can see the control room. That changes size like it's shot to shot, basically, not even episode to episode. It's so
in the same episode, it'll go from being like, oh, you can stick one face in it, and then now you can stick an entire SUV in it.
Yes. That's not even a joke. That happens. I'm not kidding. Like, this ship looks like it's nuts. It is crazy. Like, some shots it'll be like, oh, you can only see like one person, and then the next shot, those windows are huge. And like inside, they're like an average size,
They're like what you would expect a window to be on a spaceship. But
no, more like how you would expect a window to be in real life, in like a normal house. And it's like, it's insane. And like the inside doesn't make any sense, because would you believe me if I told you that this thing has 2 decks?
Oh my god.
Yes, it does. It's insane. Like, I don't know how they expect people to do this, but I did it anyway. So I made my version a little bit big. It's, fun fact, based off of fan estimates, because I was using fan blueprints to figure out exactly where everything was. My Jupiter 2 is about 58 feet larger than it's supposed to be. I made it pretty big. And it worked out because I was able to fit the entire original interior with a whole bunch of other shit. And basically, as I was doing this, I kind of, started running out of good references, because it's like, the thing is, Lost in Space is very much like a cult show. It's probably the most cult show I'm into. Like, no one knows what Lost in Space is. And if they do, they're thinking about the reboot, because that's on Netflix.
Not the original one, yeah.
Yeah. So I was not able to find many good references for this, little flying saucer. But I found enough. So I had a basic outline of the ship, and I built everything best I could. I did a
Mhm.
pretty damn good job, as you'll see. And as time went on, I was trying to figure out how to light it. So I ended up creating these hidden lighting areas. We're going to see if you can find them. And I ended up realizing, hey, the design of this looks kind of neat. And it looks different from the original. Maybe I should, upgrade this and change it. So, because I didn't want to lose the original after it was completed, what I did was I exported it to a separate world and just went crazy modifying it. And it all just kind of became this like brand new thing. It's still the Jupiter 2. It's still obviously the Jupiter 2, but it has its own vibe. It's like a mix between the original and the new one. And I'll show you the new one right now, and you'll kind of see why I didn't really want to make this one in Minecraft.
I
But I
see.
probably will now. Here it is.
All
That's the
right.
one from the remake.
And obviously, I'll pop it up on screen so
Yeah.
you can see. There's not going to be much on screen anyway. It's probably either just going to be just a black screen with our faces or just the Minecraft server menu.
Yeah.
One of the two.
You
Depends
see
on if I want to edit.
Yeah, you see the remake one looks pretty cool. I might build it in Minecraft because apparently people have built the remake version in Minecraft. No one's built the original though, so I'm
At least
potentially the
that you
first.
found, anyway.
Yeah, I looked it up. I'm potentially the first person to do that. But what I ended up doing is I ended up creating like a mix of the original and the remake, but with my own flair. And it's probably the coolest, most detailed build I have ever made, and that's why I'm so excited about it.
Excuse me.
Thanks for that.
Sorry.
Um,
It's a sneeze. I
it's
can't
probably
control a sneeze.
yes, you can.
Yeah, by holding
I
it
mean,
in and
I
giving myself
can.
a head rush.
Fair enough, but it is probably the coolest, most detailed build I've ever made. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more when we get into the server. You can join the server
Oh
now.
shit! I dropped my mouse. Right as I was about to pick
Good
it up, I
job.
dropped my mouse.
Good job.
I am the
But
dumb.
basically, what I was saying before I showed the remake version is I kind of ended up creating this more original version of the ship, and yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about my plans for that, but yeah, it's just yeah, you have to see it to understand why I can't really find the words to fully describe it.
I must. I must find the words, but I don't know how to speak.
Oh, also, here's something that's funny. I have the world set to peaceful, right?
Uh huh.
And I have mob spawning turned off. I don't know what's causing it, but the game keeps trying to spawn things and then they immediately despawn because like it's turned off. So there are just like random flashes of mostly scorpions for some reason.
Okay.
Like
Hold on.
specifically scorpions. I genuinely don't know why.
Okay. Hopefully I can actually get in this time. I got a weird error, and I hope I didn't fuck anything up.
What, fuck up the game or fuck up the server? Because the server's
The
fine.
mods, I mean, I might. I don't know if the mods are wonking out or something, but
I forgot we have Mobens turned on. I'm looking at you idling right now, and your cape has animation.
cool.
My
Loading
mom's
terrain.
vacuuming, by the way. I don't know if you
Oh,
can
yeah.
hear that.
I mean,
Very aggressively vacuuming.
I can't hear it, so you're fine.
Probably thanks to my interface. I can hear it though.
Yes. I will also say
Have
though,
you seen it yet?
I'm loading and I see some smoke. That's about all I've seen so far, and I'm loading.
Okay, yeah, there is smoke.
I'm like,
Because
in
you're
the
looking
void.
up at it. I'm shocked.
I haven't loaded yet. Oh god!
By the way,
I just partially loaded.
have you seen it yet?
It just partially loaded. Okay, come on. Minecraft, come on. Don't crash on me.
Also, for the record, I don't know why, but my game runs at like sub 60 now. I don't know why. It just does it in general. It's not because of the ship. I've tried it on other worlds. The ship's not that crazy.
Oh my god. My frames.
Can you even see anything yet?
I can see the ship. I'm just going at like 5 frames per second.
Maybe it is the ship then. I hope not.
Okay,
I
wait.
really want to show this.
Ah!
What, do you have shaders on?
No, I
Because you
don't.
always have shaders on. I'm
No,
kind of
okay.
surprised.
Okay. I'm facing this way and my frames are good. The second I start turning, my frames drop. Okay.
It shouldn't be that crazy to run, but okay.
Okay. I
You can
think
turn your
I think
render
it's
distance down.
recovering. Okay. There we go. Oh
I
my
think it's
god.
just because it's loading it in for the first time.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Opening up the menu actually fixed it. There we go. I should have did that right from the start.
All
Okay.
right, here it is. It's a little big.
Let me just quickly. I'm gonna turn my render distance down a bit. I think that might
Okay.
also be
So
doing it
did
as
I.
well.
I turned mine down to 8. You don't need it to be that high. You can pretty like it's big, but it's not like 16 chunks. You can see
Yeah,
the
I
whole
put it
thing.
on
And
8. Yeah, I put it on 8. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
so here it is.
It is okay. My frames.
Um, so like I said, this is probably the most detailed thing I've ever made, and I have to assume it's so framey because of the observers. Maybe.
That would probably do it because you have probably a lot of redstone in this thing.
No, it's just the top and bottom light. That's it.
Could
I
also
can
it might
try and
also be the
turn it off.
smoke, but I don't know.
I can get rid of the smoke. The smoke I mixed on personally. I think it looks cool, but it's not really necessary. Also, yes, the server is set to night for a reason.
Yeah, so we can see the entire thing.
Yeah. Do you want me to try and turn some stuff off? I don't know if that's gonna help.
I appreciate it because I can barely. I can move, but like the second if I'm looking away from it, my game's fine. But the second I look at it, my game tanks.
Yeah, I think it's the lights. It's specifically these ones.
Yeah, okay. It's like the
Oh
farther
wow,
I
my
get
game improved dramatically. It's the top light.
okay, my
That's
game's still
that's why.
chugging. I don't know why. Maybe it's all the scorpions or something. I don't know.
I can try and
It's coming
turn
back.
off. I can turn off the bottom light too.
I don't
The
know.
lights
It's
aren't
weird.
really necessary. They just rotate and look cool. I have a lore explanation for them, by the way,
Okay.
because they're not actually. There's no lore to them in the actual series. Yeah, my game improved dramatically as soon as I turned them both off. I can get B-roll footage for you of the lights rotating later.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is my interpretation of the Jupiter 2. It's kind of designed to mix elements of both the classic and remake series,
Yeah, I
as
see
well
that. Yeah.
as entirely my own flair. And this was actually motivated, and we'll go inside later. We're not going to go inside yet. The design changes to the ship were motivated by this one video I was watching where someone was discussing the design, and he talked about how the original wasn't designed because it's just a saucer. And when I was thinking about that, when I was watching that, I was like, you know what? Yeah. Yeah, no, that's right. Because the original, it's just a saucer.
It's just a flying circle.
That's it. It's
Basically.
just a saucer. It's got nothing interesting to it. So I started with remaking the original, and then I just kind of went crazy with it. And I've pretty much written lore explanations for everything, and every difference in like terrain and like the differences in the way this looks has a purpose. Like I'm mostly talking about these panels right here. I don't know if you've noticed, but these are recessed, and none of the others are like that. There is a reason why that's like that, and I'll explain it when we get inside.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But yeah, and as you can see, I managed to fit J2 on one of the panels because, of course, I did.
Oh, I see that. I see.
Yeah, and it's raised with the thing. And initially, actually, those panels were just going to be flat, but I ended up raising them for a little bit more depth, and it adds a lot.
Oh my god. The random scorpions are jump scaring me so often.
I know, I hate it. I don't know why the game's doing that. They
It's
shouldn't
weird.
spawn at all.
It's weird.
But I tried to make it so that everything still looked relatively uniform externally, but also had detail, and it's very much inspired by that, like the aesthetic of the remake series, with obviously elements of the original. And actually, a pretty big inspiration for me was I wanted to kind of go, with the detail of Star Wars. I kind of wanted to be like, I
Yeah.
want to make something that's like that detailed.
Yeah. I will say
And I
right out
do
the
have.
gate. I will say right out the gate, the remake version of the picture you sent me, I
Mhm.
almost wanted to say it reminds me of what like a beta version of the Millennium Falcon looked like.
Yeah, it does look like the Millennium Falcon, especially if you remove like the middle piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. This like obviously doesn't, but still I
Mm-hmm.
took inspiration from that.
All right.
Were you just called?
All right. I heard you. We're good. I'm just gonna cut stuff
Okay.
like that out. We're fine.
Okay. And actually, speaking of the Millennium Falcon, if you come back here to the thrusters,
About to say, I
um,
think I saw these earlier, and I think I didn't want to comment it. I was gonna let you talk about it. It does remind me of it.
I did add thrusters, yes. I was originally going to do that like single thruster that the Falcon has, just kind of wrapping around. I
Mm-hmm.
opted not to do it because I figured that this would be a little bit more original.
Yep.
And I deliberately kind of made them big and obvious because the whole thing with this ship is it's a colonization ship. They're
Yeah.
traveling
Okay.
to a different planet to help colonize it. So I'm thinking like, first of all, this thing needs to be fast. You know,
Yeah.
it needs to be fast. So you're not just going to get away with like the one thruster underneath. But it also needs to be big and be able to support everyone that needs to
It needs
live
to
inside
support
of
a
it.
small like team, man. It needs to support like a decently sized group of people.
Yeah. Because there are 6 crew members in the show, the Robinson family and Don West. So I'll talk about them in a little bit once we get inside because there is details relating to that. But what I want to talk about is this rotating light up here and the rotating light at the bottom, because you may have noticed that there's a beacon going through the whole ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of the beacon being visible from outside, but it's there for a reason. The beacon is one of the things that I added. I'll talk about the beacon itself a little bit more when we get inside. But I like to imagine that the like the lights on the underside and lights at the top are basically 2 reactors of some kind. This is what powers the whole ship. You know, everything is connected through these 2 things. So all of the electricity, the thrusters, everything. And the reason I did that is because this light on the original does not do anything.
I see.
It's just there. And on the original, the lights underneath is the only thruster. Just that.
So it just moves by by propulsion with this thing. Okay.
Pretty much. It's never explained. But it does have thruster detail if you were to go underneath it, because I like to imagine that that is still used for takeoff and landing.
Yeah.
But now we can actually go inside, and we're not going to board from here. We're going to board from the front landing gear, because essentially there are 3 areas where you can board. There's an area in the back, obviously, that is the cargo loading area. This is the primary boarding ramp. And over here on that side is where I put maintenance, and there's nothing in there currently. So,
Okay.
because I
Lead the way.
couldn't think of any good details. This door leads to the airlock, so we're going to talk about this first, just
Whoa.
because it's right here.
Oh, great. Use the garage door.
Yeah, I know.
I love that.
I added an airlock on the side. As you can
Cool.
see, this is a docking area. Pretty neat. I just added this because I was like, there's nothing on this side. I might as well put something there. So it's very simple,
Yeah, I
but
am
it
now in
works.
cinematic F1 mode.
Nice. All right, welcome to the first deck. This is primarily living quarters. As you can see here, we got a table around the central beacon. In the original show, this is where the robot would dock. I removed that because I realized, hey, a fucking family lives here, plus Don West. So, they kind of need a place to eat.
Yep.
So I added a table. Over here is normally something. I couldn't figure out what it was, so I just put a full kitchen in there.
Kitchen. Nice.
Yeah. I
Kitchen.
just put a full kitchen in there. Listen, man, this outcropping was here. I was just like, yeah, I'll put it there. So we're gonna start going this way. This is in universe the medical area. That's basically like a pod where someone would be scanned and like be worked on.
Yeah.
This has almost no detail to it because in Minecraft you just drink potions, so you can't really make a good medical
Yeah, I'm
area.
about to say the most you could do is like put a dispenser on the bottom that shoots health potions, but even then that's just like
Yeah.
meh.
Here we have auxiliary control. This is where the ship would be piloted if necessary. And yes, I put a web screen up where I was listening to the music from the remake series.
Nice.
Yeah. it's not playing right now because A, copyright, B, you're probably going to edit in your own music, and C, I kept getting ads on this, and I couldn't
Yeah.
embed it, as you can see, but
Yeah.
basically that screen would be displaying what's in front of the ship, not YouTube. So
Yeah, it would display the outside. We just put that there because it looks cool.
yeah, but
And it's
I
practical
tried
when it's
to yeah, it's practical because that would be a screen in universe. But I tried to make this look like a smaller, more condensed version of the actual control room upstairs, which we'll see later. So that's why like the command blocks are there and like certain things are everywhere. And you'll notice I use a lot of daylight sensors because it has that like 60s technology look, you know?
Yeah.
It just looks like it. Here we have the first cabin. Now the cabins are pretty much all the same, so I'm largely going to gloss over them.
Oh god, I right-clicked it. I right-clicked it.
I
And then my
noticed
game
for some
lagged.
reason your head was stuck in the wall. But the cabins are all very basic because I couldn't find very good references for them. Just having like the bed and a desk, and
Yeah,
I'll
just
probably
a
put some other
minor
stuff in here.
detail for now, yeah.
Yeah. Because obviously they're supposed to just be basic cabins that the family would customize on their own. Here's the bathroom.
Oh my god. The bathtub, I love that.
I know.
The shower. Oh my god. I didn't expect it to actually turn on, that's funny.
That's why I like having furniture mods. I was cleaning up a wall,
Fair enough.
if you were wondering why I was building just then. The rest of these rooms are all cabins that are pretty much identical. You can look
I
at them
see,
if you
yeah.
want. I'm not going to stop you.
I was gonna go with like a couple just to show, yeah, they're just all the exact same.
Yeah. And this room was designed to be as symmetrical as possible. That's why they're all the same.
Yeah.
Except for, oddly enough, like the plans that I was looking at state that this is the bathroom and this is a cabin for some reason. I think the bathroom probably would have been here, and then a cabin would be here.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's what my plan
Yeah, because
said.
it makes
so
sense. It would make sense to have the bathroom be parallel to the med bay. But it's just,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, so that is the ladder to upstairs, but we'll get to that later. Here we have another airlock, and as you can see, this is the cargo area.
Loading dock, yeah.
The loading dock. Well, technically that's not the loading dock. This is the loading dock. The way I imagine it is these are effective pistons, like these areas of seared stone, and this would lower down so that they can load things onto here and bring it back up.
Okay.
But this is like the workshop / chariot storage. The chariot is their sort of little like vehicle that they use. Just sort of an all-terrain vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's called the chariot, but it is. And basically it would be right here, but I am not building that in Minecraft.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
refuse. I don't care if it would be cool.
You can imagine
No.
it's there.
You can imagine it's here. This is storage.
Yeah.
Yep, just storage. Put a bunch of stuff in here.
What about
Not a whole lot interesting in here, but I am proud of the doors though, because like of the way I did the buttons.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
love that. It
the garage
works
door
so
trick is
well.
very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, fun fact, this right here, I believe in the original series was engine access. Because of the way my engines work though, it's not. It's just a cool floor detail, but I left it in because it looked nice.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look, you can see one of the observers for the bottom lights.
There you go.
So,
yeah, that's cool.
yeah. But before we go upstairs, I do just want to. Did you just break something? I thought
No,
it
I
looked like
didn't.
you broke something.
No, I
Okay.
shifted and looked down.
I just want to talk about all like the detail, and if like you look at the ceiling and like, I put an insane amount
Yeah.
of depth into this.
Yup.
Like, I put a truly unnecessary amount of depth, detail, and work into this.
Like, I thought KZ Neistat's, like, apartment had detail. This is insane.
I know.
This
And it
makes
gets
me a little
better.
concerned.
Wait until you see upstairs.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of upstairs, let's take a look at deck 2. And yes, mine did have room for deck 2. Technically, that's an elevator in universe, but I used a ladder.
Yeah, because...
Welcome to the main control room.
Nice.
Yep, there's another web screen. I want you to look
Web.
at the ceiling. Look at the ceiling.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, there's all the observers up there.
You want to talk about detail? There you go.
Oh, my God.
And by the way, this is totally not inspired by a TARDIS control console. That's totally not why I put the beacon there. This is there in the original series, by the way, and it looks pretty much just like this. It just doesn't go into the ceiling.
I see.
So right here, this is what I wanted to talk about. These are the cryopods that they were supposed to be in during their trip.
I see.
That didn't work out. Basically, the lore of the series is the ship was attacked by the robot because someone reprogrammed it to attack them. And yeah, they got woken up and thrown off course, and that's how they got lost in space. But there's 6 cryopods for all 6 crew members. And speaking of crew members, over here is the basically the captain quarters or the pilot quarters. This is where Don West would stay. Because that makes sense. He would stay on deck 2 because he's the one who
Is that
flies
his
the ship.
bathroom? Yeah. Okay.
The bathroom. It's just a bathroom. It's not his bathroom necessarily.
It would
This
be
is
his
the
bathroom.
lab.
It made sense.
Yeah, this is the lab. I put 4 sinks in. That's how you know it's a lab.
Little lamp underneath there.
Yeah, that's where the chariot storage is. Like if I break the floor, this is the workshop area.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really hide it.
Yeah.
So it works. It's fine. It
It
annoys
does what
me
it
a little
needs
bit.
to. Yeah.
Also, the ceiling is absurdly detailed in this room too.
Yep.
Here we have storage for the lab. Just
Books.
basic cabinets and books and stuff.
Knowledge.
This is pretty cool. This is the shuttle. So this is a secondary spacecraft, and you may have noticed that the ceiling looks different here. This is where those slabs are. So basically, those 2 sections would open up, and that is how the shuttle would take off.
I say, oh, you can go in here in the little shuttle right here.
You can go inside of it. It's very basic because it's very small. It's Minecraft for you. Also, yeah, I use a lot of sliding doors.
I like it. It's cool. It makes sense.
Yeah. We're going to get to the control room in a minute. Down this hallway, first of all, here we have the computer core in this room. I tried to make it look as interesting as I could in Minecraft.
Nice.
This doesn't do anything. It just looks cool.
Just imagine make plays like forms of electronic noise that it's available in Minecraft. That'd be cool.
This is another airlock you can see outside. This is that gray section. And since this is at an angle, I couldn't make it an actually opening door. I wish I could. But as you can see outside, there's stairs out there. I mean, the whole ship is covered in stairs, but there's black stairs out there because I like to imagine that I put a little platform out there. So what you'd be able to do is if the ship needs maintenance, basically, you'd be able to open this up, go out onto that platform, and then go up to the top.
Makes sense.
So, because you couldn't do that in the original. This room is empty.
Nice.
There's nothing in here. This room is the armory. I just filled it with crates and a chest because how would you make an armory in Minecraft?
Put a gun on the wall.
Sure. But all of this is not the star of the show. The star of the show is the control room. This is the primary control room.
Nice.
The most detailed area on the entire ship. As you can see, it's basically like a larger version of the smaller one downstairs. Yep. And yes, there.
Oh my
mom
god!
Just yelled about something. There is sky access because I was like, hey, I'm putting these stripes right above the control room. I might as well make it see through.
Yep.
But there's just a ridiculous amount of detail here. Just too much. And all 6 seats for everyone, and you can see out the windows. It kind of makes it obvious how small the windows are by comparison.
Yeah.
A part of me thinks a part of me wants to make them like bigger or put a screen in. I don't know. But I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I'd say it looks good as is.
Yeah, I think honestly, when it comes to this, I keep trying to find ways to improve it. I don't think I can. I think I've kind of hit critical capacity in terms of sheer design, detail, and just insanity.
Yeah.
And I did this all in like 2 days, by the way.
I know. Yeah, it's like the amount of stuff you can get done in a day is insane to me. And it still is.
But that's pretty much it. It is a lot larger externally than it appears because a lot of it is empty space, mostly due to artifacts of the way it was designed originally and the construction process.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that is filled in. Some of it is open for maintenance. So I can show maintenance just a little bit so you can get a sense of how much open space there is. And by the way, fun fact, this landing gear ramp, this has no purpose in the actual show other than being landing gear, and there's stairs on it, so it's like, I'll make it a thing. So this is maintenance.
Nice.
I tried to make it look vaguely like how the ship actually works in the game, which is why there's so many observers.
Yeah,
Little
and then,
reference
and
to
then
that.
just go up
And
here.
then there's
It's
nothing up here.
empty.
Yeah, but there is, like, there's a good amount of space that's just left open that I'm going to fill in with various different gadgetry and stuff. Because the thing is, I have intentions for this ship, but I hate the fact that I have intentions for it.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about those once we're back outside, so we can kind of get, so you can just kind of get like footage of the exterior of the ship.
Yeah, in F1 mode especially, yeah.
Yeah. But overall, I'm just ridiculously proud of this. It's just, it came out unnecessarily good, you know? It's the kind of thing where it's like, you know, I feel like I managed to strike the perfect balance between modern and classic while also keeping it from being over-designed, you know?
Yep.
Like, I definitely am treading the line between over-design, but at the same time, I feel like it only feels that way because of Minecraft, because a lot of these surfaces would be smooth in real life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless there's like a visible, deliberate difference in scaling, most areas would just be smooth. So, you know, I think that's where it comes from. But I have intentions for this ship that are that have kind of put me in denial, because when I was building this, part of the reason why I went so crazy with it was because I was like, I'm not making a ship. I'm making a set, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I realized. I'm not just making a ship, I'm making a set. Like, you could use this in like a machinima series. That's how much detail there is here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could totally make like a fucking Lost in Space series with this thing. Like, put web screens out in front of the windows with pre-rendered stuff on them to make it look like it's actually flying. Export the model, you know, for external shots, because the outside is totally free from modded blocks, pretty much, you know? So you wouldn't have to worry about it breaking. And it's like, this would go so great in a series.
Yep. 100%.
But it's sad because I don't know anyone who would do that. Because, again,
anyone
Lost in
personally,
Space
anyway.
yeah. Lost in Space is too much of like a cult show. And the fact that, you know, the whole point of it is that it's a family that's lost in space. That's part of, you know, that's part of what makes it interesting. I don't know if I'd ever be able to find anyone who would be willing to do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just have this super overly impressive build that it's like, oh yeah, it's nice. Can't do anything with it, but it's nice. And it's depressing because it's like, man, I want to show this off. I want to see this in action, you know?
Like,
even
you
if
want to
it's-
see it
if
with more,
it's-
you want to see it, like, animated and stuff.
Yeah, even if it's for just like a one-off of like a series, like we just make like a pilot episode about when
Yeah.
they get lost. I just want to do it because it's like, it would be
Yeah.
so cool. And like, I know they did the reboot and everything. Mine would be more of like a more similar to the classic series with a modern twist rather than the remake series, which is completely different. Kind of like the ship. It's, you know, it's more like the classic with a modern twist, unlike the remake, which is basically completely different outside of the fact that it has a circle in the middle of it. But regardless, I'm addicted to this. I love how it came out. It just...
Yeah.
This is the most impressive thing I've ever made. It really is. Like, it's unnecessarily good. You know, and I normally I feel bad saying that, right? I feel bad being like, oh yeah, this thing I made is so great. Look at
No,
it.
it genuinely is. and
Yeah,
again,
like,
it just makes it more impressive that you did it in 2 days.
I know. it makes you concerned for my sanity that by the way, I did not use a single command for this. I built this whole thing by hand.
I would assume, yeah, circle charts and
Yeah,
everything.
every single detail. So it's like, yeah, a little bit insane. I just realized I never explained the smoke, by the way. That is basically the reactors venting, because I
Ah,
realized they don't have anywhere to vent.
that makes
Kind
sense.
of makes it look like it's broken. I feel like it's a little bit too extreme, so it probably wouldn't be part of the ship normally, but those grates would still be there.
Yeah,
That is the function
you
that
could
they
always
serve.
have the keep the campfires there and just put them out. I guess.
Yeah, that's basically what my plan is. Um, but yeah, it's just, man, I'm so happy with it, but I keep thinking like I'm addicted to it. I want to keep working on it. Where can I go from here?
I know, right? It's
Like, how much better can I make this? I don't think I can make it better, other than improving the maintenance area.
yeah, that'd be like the only thing you could do.
Yeah. But I'm just insanely proud of this build. It's just such a perfect blend, and it's just, I wish this was on the build world, but a part of me is happy that it has its own world. I
That is
feel like
separate,
this is,
yeah.
yeah, I feel like this is too cool, too big, and too impressive to just be sitting on the build world. And
Yeah.
the other one is there. So it's pretty much the same, but it's there. Also, here's something fun. Part of the reason why I was able to get so much detail into this was because I discovered that orange terracotta is pretty much the exact same color as red sandstone.
Yeah, that's one little thing I love I don't know if it was a change during one of the updates, but they didn't update. I think it was in 1.12 that they made the two way more obviously similar.
Mm-hmm.
Before red sandstone would stand out against orange terracotta because orange terracotta was like a much more neon orange, and then they just made them the same.
Yeah, I'm really happy that that's the case because it allows me to get that depth on the orange sections.
Mm-hmm.
I still couldn't do it with the gray, but I feel like I integrated the gray well enough so that it's not obvious that there's no slabs there.
Yeah.
So, and actually, other interesting details about this ship. The original version of this is made out of iron, 100%.
Oh my god.
Well, externally anyway. I know. It looks really cool because it's supposed to be like super shiny, but I switched it to quartz because I wanted to add stairs to make it more smooth and allow me to play around with depth a lot more. As well as the fact that I like the idea that, like, the original was basically unpainted silver, whereas this one, because I added the orange, is more painted and like
Yeah,
detailed.
it's modeled more after the original, but you've basically added features from the remake ones. That way, it doesn't look
Yeah, it has like
flat.
the reboot's paint job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the original, I love the original Jupiter 2, but I'm gonna get yelled at for this. The original's fucking boring.
I mean, I don't blame you. It's like looking back at the original shots of Star Wars, like the original shots of Star Wars. Like a lot of it looks very very. It really does. It ages really really poorly at times.
Oh, that's what it looks like. I just noticed something. Go ahead. I'll talk about that in a
Yeah,
second.
but like if you look at I think the one shot that really does show like age is the Millennium Falcon scene in episode 4 with Jabba. The amount of times that's been like reshot and CGI'd and
Yeah.
everything, it's like that's one of the like most horribly aged scenes I think in Star Wars. And it's kind of for somebody who loves Star Wars to like everything. That's I hate that scene because it's been ruined over and over and over again. And even the
Oh, yeah,
original scene
definitely.
was like awful.
Yeah.
Like the first re-release was probably the best they were gonna get when they did it when they first released them to DVD.
Added that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing that I noticed I want to talk about is this front section. I kept thinking that like this looks like something. The way I did the depth here, it looks like something. Now I know what it is. It looks like a snow speeder.
Oh my god, yeah, it does look like hot snow speeders. Oh my god.
I didn't even notice. I was thinking like this looks so familiar, but I'm just gonna keep going with it. And I checked it against the original. I checked it against the reboot, and I was like, does it look like the reboot? No.
Just
What the fuck does it look
right
like?
over
And it looks
here,
like a
just
snow
like
speeder.
where this house is, just break this house down and build an AT-AT. Build a
It's fucking the
fucking
Jupiter
AT-AT.
2 versus an AT-AT.
Yeah.
Probably will build an AT-AT at some point.
Yeah.
God,
And
it looks so cool. Just like running towards it from here is just like, goddamn.
it
I
literally
love
just looks
it.
like a hot snow speeder. Yeah.
I mean, the whole, well, I mean, that
Just
front
from a
section
front
is
shot, from
like,
like a head-on
you know,
shot, I see it. But like from an angle, once you start to see it's more circular, it's like okay, yeah, it doesn't really look like it at all.
yeah, you could definitely see that Star Wars inspiration.
Yeah.
But also, another thing that I wanted to do when it comes to designing this, like the reason why I gave it so much depth, is I wanted to give it a real sense of scale. Because, like, the other one, I mean, it is big, it's the same size, but it doesn't look big, you know?
Yeah, this is looks like like if this were Legos, this looks like the giant Millennium Falcon in comparison to like the smaller one that's like 100 pieces in comparison to the one that's like 1,000.
Yeah, like this looks like an actually big spaceship. Whereas the original version of this same build, it looked big because when you got near it, it was pretty obviously freaking huge because it's the same size. Um, but it just like from certain angles and certain shots, it didn't look big. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this looks big.
This looks big.
This looks
This
huge.
like if I
It is
back up,
huge.
like if you back up to where it's like out of your render distance, and you just kind of just walk up to it, it loads in like it's super ominous and like gigantic.
Because it is gigantic, and I love
Yeah.
it.
I
Yeah.
will say this: when you're on the ground and you're walking up to it, it looks way bigger than it actually is. But then once you get in the
Oh
air, it's
yeah,
like,
no,
okay, yeah, this is not nearly as big as it actually does look.
yeah, but it is still big. I think it's like a very good size, you know.
Yeah. All
Like,
I
it's
gotta
not too
say
big,
is be
it's not
glad
too
this.
small.
I was about to say be glad mob spawning is off.
I know.
This entire underspot area will be a death trap.
Yeah, I kept trying to light it, but like it's too big. I can't light it well enough. Plus, I wanted dark spots. I think it looks better with dark spots.
Oh yeah, it gives the center lights a lot more to work with too.
Yeah, especially since like if we go with the idea that I want to make this like the idea that a part of me wants to use this for a machinima or like Minecraft series of some kind, it looks better with dark spots. So
Yeah, even then, it's like if this was like in a situation where like you were building and and you couldn't turn mobs off, you could just put torches on the actual ground rather than the ship.
yeah,
But even then,
man, no,
it's like
it's driving me crazy every time I bring it up. I really want to use this in like a machinima series or
I don't
something.
blame you. It's like I've seen people build all these like FNAF sets and stuff like that, and I'm like, my God, the fact that people go through the trouble to build all these sets just for like one series, and then they just sort of just leave it there in their like on a backup worlds file or something, and then it's like, wow, you did all that effort only to use it once.
Yeah. And in this case, I did all that effort to not use it. Not even on the build world. I could put it on the build world, but it would break all of the vertical slabs. So I'm not gonna do that. I've already been through that once trying to import it to here.
Oh boy.
Actually, you know what? Do you want to check out the build world? I added some stuff.
Yeah, sure. I'll make it its own separate file, but yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah. There we go. I did that for a reason.
Fair enough.
Yeah, my builds look better at night.
Yes.
Especially if you look at Miku.
The
I know,
Miku!
she glows.
So cute.
She glows.
She's
I
having a
used
glow up.
to get the two different tones. I used light blue altered ancient fabric, which lights up, and I didn't know that, so that's why she glows, and it's really cool, and I love it. It fits.
It does fit. It's so cute.
Also, I like how she's the same height as fucking Samus.
Yes, and it's like I recently read that like Samus is short as hell in comparison to like other characters.
She's like 6 feet tall.
Yeah, she's 6'8". No, she's I think out of suit she's like 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
And then Doom Guy's 6'8", and then Master Chief is like, by the way, I'm 7 foot. So Master Chief is gigantic, by the way.
But I don't know if you're recording, by the way.
I am, yes.
Okay. This is the clock tower from Majora's Mask.
Ah.
I just kind of built this because I was bored. And And fun fact, those side wheels, I actually forgot to put them in at first, so I had to add those. That was fun.
Oh, big
Internally,
doors. Big doors.
I know it has all of the detailing from the game. It has the Sheikah stone, the weird way the clock works. It's never explained. It doesn't make much sense, but this is how it looks. So this is what I did.
Alrighty.
Um, and then downstairs we have the water and like the wheel. It's basically water powered.
That's a weird way to power a clock, but alright. Alright,
Yeah, I
Zelda.
know. It's weird. And then here's the door to Hyrule, which is permanently sealed.
Aw.
But not in Minecraft. I thought because it was an iron door, you wouldn't be able to open it, but you can. But whatever.
God, that is a creaky door. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. This is kind of just like a simple build. It's mostly just cool because hey, it's the clock tower from Majora's Mask.
Yeah, it's like,
Mostly
ooh,
just cool for
cool
me.
tower. Yeah, cool tower, nice. And then there's the Jupiter
For
2
build
original.
showcase purposes, there's the original version of the Jupiter 2.
Yeah, I'll just do a quick little
Pretty much the same thing. It's
fly
just
around. Just
less
less
detailed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick fly
Um,
around.
but the star of the show is all the way on the other side of the map because you may have, I don't think you've seen it, but if you have,
I have not.
you'll notice. So we're back at the Trenzalore TARDIS.
Oh, we're here. Okay. I thought I saw this a
Yep.
second ago.
Now, first of all, this.
Nice.
Second of all, before we talk about this, have you noticed anything different about the Trenzalore TARDIS?
The light, there's a beacon, and also there's a giant fucking pipe.
Oh yeah, the pipe is here.
We're not
Did I
talking about
show
the
you
pipe right now. No.
We're talking about the pipe. The pipe is an inside joke from the old build world.
Yes, I will.
So I added the pipe.
I will legitimately add a picture. I'm going to go into the build world probably later tonight, and I will take a picture of the pipe for context of what the fuck this is.
I was gonna make it bigger, but I was like, I don't want it to be too big.
Yeah, you don't want it to be bigger than the TARDIS.
Yeah, I know. But I'm gonna ask you to go into here.
All right.
Go in there.
Oh. Whoa.
Welcome aboard. This is the TARDIS.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, the
I
detail.
like building spaceships.
Yeah, wow, the detail, and wow, you're a nerd. I'm kidding.
This is an exact set recreation.
Oh my god.
And yes, I'm serious. This is an exact recreation of the actual set used in Series 7B.
Nice.
Basically, on Google Maps for the 50th anniversary, they added a Google Street View inside of the Earl's Court police box of this, and I was able to get full 360 references of everything.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, that's basically just like easy mode cheating, but it's like, I mean, hey, it works.
Really.
Yeah, it works.
I wouldn't say it's easy mode cheating. I still had to translate everything and figure out how to build all it.
I'm just saying in terms of getting like references for what, where, and what everything is. That's still like, oh my god, that would make things so much easier to trying to go off of like a TV show and just looking at that.
Yeah. But I did my best to recreate everything as accurately as possible. All the side consoles, the fucking stupid staircases that were a bitch to do. I made the console larger than I normally would, but it works. It actually looks really good.
Yep.
You can see this is the beacon that comes out of the Trenzalore TARDIS, because guess what? This is built to be inside of the Trenzalore TARDIS.
Oh, so this is like inside of that. All right.
Yep.
That's
because
a cool
I noticed it was a huge amount of space that was just empty.
So you put this in there
empty,
so that way it does something.
Yeah, and also because it made sense, because this is the TARDIS interior for that specific version of the ship.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
It didn't have the console, but it was this. It was this version of the ship, and it just uses command blocks to get you in and out. I was going to use something like immersive portals, but guess what? That doesn't exist for 1.12. So,
Nice.
and this is what I meant when I said I didn't build the custom texture pack, because there's a reason why the doors are so weird. These are doors that I am never going to use, so I'm going to retexture them to be the TARDIS. And the reason why there's
clever.
a birch door.
Yeah, so when you open this, it'll be like an actual TARDIS. That's cool.
Yeah, the reason why there's a birch door on the inside instead of another one of these is because the inside door of the TARDIS is actually white.
Ah, I see.
So, and I realized I made a mistake. I used red sandstone here which is something that I'm probably going to use again at some point.
Yeah, you're probably. I would just say
Because
use
I
like
used
a.
them cheaper too, so.
I was gonna say you could probably use like the smooth stone slabs for that.
No, I use those on the Kamar van. I'm trying to find things that
Oh
I
yeah,
don't use,
true. Yeah, okay.
like blocks that I just either don't like or don't want to use for anything. That's why I used a acacia door, because as you know, I hate acacia.
I know for some ungodly reason.
It's too orange.
Yes, exactly. It works perfectly for tropical houses.
No, it doesn't. It's too orange.
So what if
If
I
it was
want?
a little bit less orange, like more muted, I'd like it. But it's too orange. It's too bright. It looks like it was painted. You know.
This is this is more satisfying than I think it should be. Oh my god. For
It
me,
just
I
hit
just
me.
for me
I
just
could put a garage door here.
yeah. For me, it just clicked and immediately opens up because I'm not up.
Nice. Well, that's pretty much all the changes done to the build world. Not much has happened.
Yeah.
I haven't been working on it much, mainly because for the past couple days I was, building a really, really big family spaceship that's going to be used for colonization on Alpha Centauri. So, and the Apple Store still has nothing in it. I have not worked on the Apple Store at all.
Nice.
I know, it's great. It's like you look at this build, it's really eye-catching. You go inside, there's just nothing.
Oh look, it's cool. It's an Apple Store. It's, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Empty.
I like how I'm being like, oh my god, it's an Apple Store as a safe sign.
I know.
It's so funny, but it's like Apple Stores are cool, alright?
Yeah, they're nice. They're really good stores, honestly. Like they like this the vibe is good. But yeah, that's all that's changed on the build world. I don't know if you want to make that into a full video or not. It's up to you.
I'll probably tack it on to the end. Just on
Yeah.
the end of the last one is like I just wanted to make it a separate file so that way I can easily just
Yeah, I just wanted to show it because I was mentioning the old version of the J2 the whole time. I might as well show it, and also, I wanted to show off the TARDIS
yeah.
because I think it's cool that I fit the whole thing inside of the Trenzalore ship.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
awesome.
it's still so cool. I love that.
Yeah, and the beacon coming out of the top annoys me a little bit, but it doesn't annoy me enough to change it.
Yeah. Even then
I just wish, like,
even then it doesn't
what?
appear in my render distance when I'm down here. Unless I
I know, like,
came up here
when
previously.
when you're down, you can't really see it. Like it's visible, but it's not visible enough to
Yeah,
be.
like you have to be standing like at the FNAF pizzeria to really see it.
Yeah, it really shows how tall the TARDIS is because it's like the beacon goes up to build limit. The TARDIS is almost there. It's how big that thing is.
Yep.
I do kind of want to build other sci-fi ships. Since I've done the J2, I feel like I could probably make other things. I don't know what I'd make though, because like the thing with sci-fi ships and me is that I have a very interesting relationship with sci-fi these days because I've kind of built the two ships that I would want to build.
Yeah.
So
You
I mean,
built
like,
the
I know I'm into
TARDIS, which
Star
is the
Wars.
spaceship in of itself, and then you built the J2.
Yeah, and I know like I could build like a Star Wars ship. I
Yeah,
don't
you can
really
build
think
like
I have the passion for that
about to
because
say
I
yeah,
love Star Wars,
yeah.
but I'm not like crazy into it.
You're not as
anymore.
into it as I am, where I basically it's borderline half of my identity.
Yeah, Star Wars. Star Wars is. I feel like I have a similar relationship to Star Wars that I do Harry Potter, where it's like, yeah, I like it. I recognize its value. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Objectively, I like it. But that part of my life is mostly over now.
Yeah.
I've kind of moved on to other things.
It's similar
Like
with
if I
me
want to
with
watch
Harry
a
Potter
space
as well.
exploration show, I'll either watch Doctor Who or Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Star Wars is amazing, but I've kind of for me, it's a case where I've kind of seen everything I need to see out of Star Wars.
Yeah. But say
Like,
you
all right,
could do the
I've experienced enough of this.
I don't know if you're a fan of Star Trek, you could do the Enterprise.
I am not a fan of Star Trek, but everyone tells me I would be. Maybe I will build the Enterprise. So I'll probably start watching it. I think it's on Netflix.